Good morning, good evening. Megan Mitchell here. It is Thursday, January 22nd. And the topic that I want to talk to you about today, I think, is really important for the current atmosphere in our community in Victory with Ash, because I feel like we have a great deal of people who have unnecessary anxiety. And I want to talk to you about the relationship between decision making and peace, and being decisive and the peace that that brings. You know, we have many people in our community who are feeling a bit anxious because they feel like they haven't heard from Ash, or they don't know what's going on. But I think what's really happening is, I think they only have their toes in the water. And what I mean by that is, if you have ever tried to go swimming at the beginning of the season, maybe when it's not warm enough and the pool is somewhat cooler than it normally would be in the summer, sometimes we just stick our toes in and we just barely get our feet wet. And that actually can sometimes make us colder than if we were to dive straight in. You know, when you dive in and you get your entire body wet, your body acclimates to the water and you're not as cold anymore. And I feel like the act of being on the fence, or being partly in and partly out in this journey in Victory with Ash and in this entire journey, is very similar. Let me read a quote for you. Delay is fear. And sometimes when we delay to make a decision, we delay to commit, we're procrastinating because it's a protection. It protects the part of us that's scared that we're not actually good enough, that we are not actually able to succeed. So we don't want that possibility of failure. So we kind of leave one foot in and one foot out. And the kicker is that not trying is actually real failure. So how is decision making related to peace, or related to the lack of peace? You know, sometimes we feel panic, or we feel discomfort because we don't know if we've made the right decision. We don't know if we're on the right path. But indecisiveness creates mental agony, and it creates a lack of peace, the what ifs. You know, I think a lot of people are not fully aligned with this vision, and they're not fully aligned with this process. So they're constantly asking themselves, what if this isn't going to work? Or what if, things are going to go south? But the way that being decisive and making a commitment brings peace is through six points. Let me point out. First of all, it ends mental fatigue. Constantly being in a state of indecision, that analysis paralysis, really causes anxiety. So when you're not fully committed to something, you are constantly weighing the options. You're constantly overthinking the what ifs. Committing to a choice and being fully in, jumping in the water, it ends that cycle, that draining cycle of overthinking. Number two, it aligns with values. It helps you align with your values. Whatever your core values are, for example, if you have a desire to change other people's lives or whatnot, making a decision based on those values rather than all of the external noise. We've talked a lot about external noise happening within the community and within, just the outer space, people who are not in the community. Making those decisions that are not based on external pressures brings a long-lasting sense of peace. Embracing acceptance. Peace comes from accepting that while a decision might be difficult and it might not always bring the exact results immediately or take you along the path that you wanted to go on, it's going to bring growth. We all know that if we've been involved in Victory with Ash or in the journey with Ash all along the way, we've all grown in many different ways. So it helps you to let go of a comfortable past for a better future. Being decisive and commitment helps reduce doubt and anxiety. Okay, it decreases the anxiety of being stuck in the middle, having that 1 foot in and that 1 foot out. That causes anxiety. Number 4, or actually number 5, allows us to trust in the process, knowing that you can handle what's coming your way and you can handle potential valleys and the issues that might arise, helps you make future decisions without fear. You can trust yourself. And then lastly, it provides clarity. Decision making based on structure by analyzing by analysis of pros and cons helps to organize your chaotic thoughts. Those of us who are fully committed have made our decision based on facts. We all know that Ash has been here this entire journey. Ash has never left. Why would someone commit this much of their life to an organization, to people, if they weren't committed to the process? You know, Ash has never left. Ash has stayed. And this is because Ash has made the decision to be committed. There's no part in, part out. He always said, do or die. And that's where we gain our solid, trust, is because we're basing it on what we've seen. Not all of the noise, not all of the things that are being said in the outside the community. We're basing it on what we've seen. We know that Ash is committed and that it gives us a sense of peace to continue on this journey. Once you make that decision, once you're all in, you can relax and know that you're not committed to a specific timeline. You're not basing it off of the whim of something that someone said on social media. You feel confident because you've made a decision and you're committed. If we're not anchored, if we think about a boat or, out in the ocean, if they don't put down an anchor, they're going to be swayed by every wave, by every change in the wind. And that's what a bunch of people who are involved in this journey are experiencing. They're swayed by all of these external, pressures. So you ask, how do you know you're on the right path? Here's a quote I heard: because peace got louder than panic, alignment started feeling better than approval, and because your soul exhaled and whispered this way. Those of us who are aligned with this journey feel that way. We feel it. We know we're in the right place, regardless of what other people think, regardless of the external pressures, because we've made that commitment. And there's peace in making a commitment and being decisive. So I hope if you are still just putting your toes in the water, I hope you will jump in fully and not be pulled by all of the different pressures. And it'll help you gain confidence in making decisions, and you can focus your energy on growing and on knowing that you're on the right path. Have a blessed day.